Hello, hello, everyone. It's June 21st, 2024. I'm meteorologist Rochelle J. It's a Friday, and here's your hurricane season update as we're heading into the weekend. So, Alberto is no more, dissipated over Mexico during the day on Thursday, but we're continuing to still watch two other areas in the Atlantic tropics, both of which within the next 7 days have a medium chance of developing into a tropical depression. So the first of which is Invest 92L. It also has a 60% chance of developing into a tropical depression within 48 hours. So we'll be monitoring that now just off of the coast of northeastern Florida and the Georgia coastline as well. So we're continuing to watch that as it moves back off to the north and west. It's producing winds around 35 miles an hour. This is for that midday update from the National Hurricane Center. They did fly Air Force Reserve reconnaissance aircraft, so hurricane hunters did fly over this, and it showed that it was about 120 miles east of Jacksonville, Florida, with a defined center of circulation. So again, 60% chance of developing into at least a tropical depression within the next 2 days. And we also have this other area still has not formed, even though we've been monitoring this for a couple of days now. It has a 50% chance of becoming at least a tropical depression as we move through the weekend, and a 60% chance within the next 7 days. So let's look at the satellite imagery here. Let's put a loop on that so you can see 92L just off of that Florida coastline, now starting to get a little bit more energy with it. But again, we're watching that other area down into the Gulf of Mexico around the Yucatan Peninsula, expecting that to develop as we head later on into your Friday. Now here's a closer look at 92L. You can see some lightning strikes associated with that. So this is the satellite imagery. So I want to show you as well the infrared, so we can see some of those cloud tops with 92L as we go through the last couple of hours. So we're starting to see some of those blacks developing very briefly, indicating colder or higher cloud tops, more developed thunderstorm activity. And again, you can see some lightning being detected with that as well. So it does have that well-defined center of circulation according to the National Hurricane Center. But let's look at the water vapor imagery, because this was an issue that we were watching with 92L, was the amount of dry air that's surrounding this. So the storm itself, it's got those blues, it's got those greens, indicating that there's moist air associated with that. We're detecting more of that water vapor. But around that, we actually have a lot of oranges. We've got reds and burgundies to the north, to the west, and to the south. So almost completely surrounding this system is dry air, and that's not something that tropical systems like if they want to develop, if we want to see that development. But it does look like we are going to see some impacts, whether or not this system becomes a tropical depression, gains a name. We're going to see some impacts down into Florida, Georgia, and maybe even some areas of the Carolinas as well. Here's a look at some fronts. We have that low pressure off to the east of Florida and Georgia. This is the Weather Prediction Center showing this. So you can see this system is actually expected to kind of meander around a very similar area, bringing showers, bringing thunderstorms as we head into Saturday. Wow. And into Sunday as well, still kind of hanging out in that same area. So showers and storms look likely into the southeastern United States because of 92L. So let's take you to show you the spaghetti plots. So this one particularly, the GFS ensemble, the American Model Ensemble, is showing that, yeah, it's going to stick around that Florida, Georgia, South Carolina area for a bit. But then it's going to move off to the north and east, so possibly impacting South and North Carolina, maybe some areas of southeastern Virginia before it really moves off to sea. And again, this only shows you the center of the storm, so there will be impacts outside of that as well. So we're talking about the movement of the center of 92L. So as far as the impacts or the movement of this system, again, watching it move to the north and west, You can see just a few more model outputs, spaghetti model outputs here. And then eventually it's going to take that hook back to the north and east. So heading up to maybe some parts of the Outer Banks within the next couple of days of North Carolina. So just a heads up, if you live there or if you are planning to travel there, we could see some impacts from that. Invest 92L right now, as far as intensity guidance, strengthening, it looks like it may stay below that tropical storm threshold as far as wind speeds, but it's getting close as far as how strong those wind speeds are. So we'll monitor that, but the morning guidance is showing that it more likely than not will stay below that threshold of becoming a tropical storm. But we'll keep an eye on it, see what happens. We've had Alberto, so the next name on the list would be the B storm. So something to watch with 92L. Let's actually take you back, have my tabs out of order here. Let's talk a little bit more about this system down into the Gulf of Mexico near the Yucatan. Still has not developed just yet, maybe just a few hours away from developing into something that may gain at least an invest designation. We're monitoring that 50 and 60% chance within the next 2 and 7 days, respectively. Environmental conditions appear conducive for gradual development after it moves over the Bay of Campeche Friday night, and a tropical depression could form over the southwestern Gulf of Mexico this weekend. Now, this system looks like it's going to likely bring a good deal of rain to some of the same areas that Alberto did just within the last couple of days. So I want to show you some of those rain projections for Mexico specifically from whatever this system is going to become. So regardless of name, strength, or any of that, this looks like it's going to be a rainmaker. So this particular model, which one is this? This is the American model. We're talking about some rain totals over 6 inches is what this is calling for. Now, other models are saying less, but still a lot of rain in northeastern Mexico. So we've got some more of those blue colors showing up, but this particular output has it a little bit off to the west, but still 4, 5, 6 plus inches of rain looking pretty likely, or that potential looks pretty likely, rather, I should say, in northeastern Mexico, overlapping with some of the areas that we did just see get a good deal of rain from the tropical storm that moved through a little bit earlier on this week. So we're watching those two areas right now in the tropics, Invest 92L, and this other area that we're going to be monitoring for development later on Friday heading into the weekend. My name is meteorologist Rochelle J. Thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in more content like this, more hurricane season updates, other weather info and forecasts, you can follow me. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have a linktree/Rochelle TV if you're interested in that. And I also do write blog posts every now and again on different weather phenomenon, and I'll also start to do some astronomy info on there. So I would love if you would follow, bookmark, do all of the good things, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend. If you're in the line of storm, showers, strong winds this weekend, please stay safe, and I will see you next time. Thank you for watching.